sustainable development.
It is often said that mental health is not a sign of weakness. It actually is a sign of being humans. So tonight, we are going to look at mental health as a universal human right. 10th October is actually a day set aside to create awareness. So that is what we are going to do here tonight on the Youth Avenue. Good evening to you all lovely viewers and welcome to tonight's episode. It is on this show that we sit to address issues that hinders our growth as youth. Remember, it's all about you. As I said earlier, we are going to look at mental health. Okay, so it's actually something that is being celebrated everywhere in the world now, being 10th October. We are creating awareness, the need for everybody to know the state of their mental health. So tonight I have here with me two gentlemen with whom I'm going to have this discussion with. But before we start, I'd like to urge you kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel at Watch TV channel if you have not done so, and also follow us on all our social media pages at Watch TV channel. And the program is sponsored by the Center for Volunteerism and Social Transformation, CENVAST. Stay tuned as we take a short break. We'll be right back.
My name is Nana Ija the 11th, Chief of Apramodo. I would like to urge all my viewers to keep subscribing to Watch TV. That is where you get the better education. It's very, very informative, and then education as well. So I would urge all viewers to stay glued to Watch TV. You can subscribe the YouTube channel and then the Instagram channel as well as Facebook.
Welcome back from that short break, viewers. This is the Youth Avenue, and as I said earlier, we are going to look at mental health as a sign of human right. I have here with me two gentlemen from the psychiatric department of the 𝐡𝐞𝐬𝐬 Hospital. One goes by the name Maxwell Graham. He is a registered mental health nurse. Maxwell, you are welcome to the Youth Avenue.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
I'm most grateful.
You're welcome. And also we have Wilfred Worsley-Pra. Wilfred. He is also a registered mental health nurse at 𝐡𝐞𝐬𝐬 Hospital. You are welcome, Wilfred.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cooks.
Yeah, it's an honor to have you both here.
It's a pleasure.
It's
Okay.
a pleasure.
All right, so to get it going, I would like you, Maxwell, to tell us a little bit about mental health before we even get to know why the world is celebrating it right now.
So, thank you for your question, Cooks. Mental health, basically, we say that it is a state of an individual's well-being,
Okay.
whereby the person can cope with the daily stress of life, whereby the individual can also be productive and be fruitful, and also whereby the individual can conform to societal norms and live comfortably within the society and also within the community,
Okay.
and also have a meaningful life. So basically, all these that I have mentioned constitute one's good mental health. So for us, people with psychiatric background, if you come in this state, basically we say that you are having a good mental health.
Okay. So since there is good mental health, then meaning there is definitely bad mental health.
Sure.
Okay, so
When there is an impairment in an individual's life with regards to the things that I have mentioned,
yeah.
then the individual mental health is questionable.
Okay.
For instance, when you are not able to cope with the issues or the stress of life, you are not being productive. If you are a worker, you are not being productive and fruitful. There is a question. You can't conform to societal norms. There is a question. You can't have a meaningful life. Then there is a question. We need to find out why these things are happening to you. So in that aspect, your mental health is questionable,
Okay.
that will lead you to having mental illness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wilfred, can you help us with why the world is actually celebrating this day?
Okay.
What led to it, and the theme, the choice of theme that they picked for it, and all?
Thank you for your question. So, the question is what led to this theme?
Yes, the celebration.
And, this year's theme is mental health as a human right.
Right.
Of course. So the thing is that all of us have rights. Like we have right to life, right to shelter, right to food and all of that. And as time went on, like diseases come up, illnesses come up, and in most cases, people are kind of, should I say, deserted or abandoned. And mental health or mental illnesses is one of the conditions that when people suffer such conditions, they are, tend to be abandoned by relatives and even the society. And so this year's theme is creating the awareness that mental health is a human right. So people with mental health conditions have the right to access good health. You understand? So the thing is that so long as there's the facilities around, anybody suffering mental condition has the right to those the facilities. So they shouldn't be abandoned and left to be roaming about or be chained or put in chains or be tied to trees. Some of them they are tied to trees. When you go to our villages, sometimes this prayer camps, you see them they live in inhumane conditions. So we are saying that the person is a human being first and foremost. So whatever you think you deserve, or it's a right that you need to enjoy, that person too needs to enjoy that kind of right. But his condition is that he's ill at that moment. So every help that the person will need, because these people, if they are helped, they are able to come out of their conditions.
Yeah.
Treatment is there for people suffering mental health conditions, no matter the condition, no matter how long, no matter the severity, treatment is there. So once a person is a human being, he also has the right to enjoy the dignity of life. So it's a right, it's a human right.
What conditions would we say are the negative mental health issues?
Okay, so before I come back to your question,
Okay.
I want to add up to what
What you
Wilfred
said,
said. I quite remember in social studies, class 5 or something like that, Abraham
Maslow's theory.
yes, I think the first the first line,
physiological-
yeah. So every human must have clothing, must have shelter,
yeah.
must have food.
Food.
So these are basic,
yeah.
fundamental human rights. So it came up that when our health should also be considered as a basic human right.
Okay.
So the powers that be sat down and said that, okay, this year it is everybody's right to have good mental health. That is why this thing came up. Once you have the right for food, the right for clothing, shelter, you also have the right to good quality, not just good mental health, but a quality mental health. Sure.
Okay.
So the question that you asked,
the causes, which kind of people do we classify as those that have the impaired mental health?
So for mental health is not, it does not discriminate. It is not that the white or black people suffer from mental health. Everybody at a point in time can suffer mental health or mental illness. Anybody at all. So mental illness is not a discrimination of person.
Okay.
Anybody at all, even from a day-old child to the oldest person in the world, can suffer from mental illness.
Okay.
You can be white, you can be black,
Yeah.
irrespective of your race, irrespective of your color, your background, your gender, the rich, the poor, anybody at all, at one point in a time, if care is not taken, can suffer from mental illness. So basically, I always say that there is always a thin line between the normal and what? The abnormal.
Okay. So, Maxwell, what can we say would contribute to an abnormal mental health or mental health illness?
So there are a lot of factors that contribute or that cause or that lead to mental illness. And one factor we can look at is basically hereditary or is genetic. Once you have a relative, a family, a relation that had ever suffered from mental illness, the possibility or likelihood for you to also have that condition, if you have that lineage or you are in that lineage, there's a possibility of you also having a mental illness. That is why you're paying for no say, oh, kwa warrior bisa.
Okay.
Yes. So that is a proverb.
Right.
So when you are going to marry, they are asking you to do a due diligence in your partner's background.
Yeah.
Why? Basically, they want to see whether there are these kind of things in the family, because they know that once you get into it, the lineage is there and anything can happen. So the first factor is genetic. Okay. And one thing that we also don't take a look at when it comes to mental illness is nutrition.
Okay.
Nutrition. Poor diet or poor nutritional diet can also cause mental health, because the brain is said that it needs to be nourished for you to be able to function well. So once the brain is not well nourished with good balanced diet, there can be impairment in any part of the brain, which will lead to where the functionality of the brain is. So for instance, let's say the ability to even see, if the place is not well nourished, you can't see properly. Okay. To think, you can't even think properly.
Yeah, when you're hungry, especially.
Yes. That is why when people are hungry, they think to behave in some way. So, and when we talk of having a good balanced diet or good nutritional diet, it is not expensive.
Okay.
Yokogari is
gobe. Use the word.
Yes, the word is gobe. So gobe, for instance, very nutritious. You have your protein in it. You have your minerals in it. You have your carbo in it. You have everything.
Boys are really going to like this part though, because
yes, they do. So when they pounce on it, and it's not that expensive, but I'm hearing, I don't normally eat gobe, but I'm hearing now that it's becoming expensive.
Yeah, it's kind of becoming expensive a little, but it's still the cheapest food you can get around anyways.
And even coffee brookman, do you know coffee brookman?
Yes, the roasted plantain with, granite, I know that one.
The black thing, sometimes people do throw these things, they remove the black spots in
the plantain.
In the plant, and they throw it. That is the most vital thing, nutritious thing in the plantain. Yes, it has this potassium in it, a lot rich in potassium, which is good for the body as well. So these are some of the factors. And the next factor that causes a mental illness is brain injury or head injury. Okay. Yeah, for instance, I quite remember in my field of practice, a couple came to my department, and the man, as at then, was 40 years old, and the wife was around 35. Okay. Yes. So what was the situation? The man is now having what we call epilepsy. Okay. what brought about this condition. From the story, he told us that, oh, he was not born with it.
Okay.
He had never suffered this condition before. And the wife also testified that this is not with the husband. But lately, these seizures keep happening. And it was like the wife was, when I met you, you didn't have this condition or this thing. But how come? And I said, who did see me?
Yeah.
So it looked like there was some hitches in the marriage.
Okay.
So during my interaction with the man, then he told me that 20 years ago he had an accident, a car accident, and used his forehead on the seat or something, on a very hard substance.
Oh.
But he didn't take it so serious because he didn't have any cut on him. So he thought it was okay. So did not have any checkup. So it came out that it was this head injury he had 20 years ago
that caused
that had now resurfaced as a seizure.
Okay.
So head injury, when you have a head injury, please take critical look at it. Okay. Don't say that I didn't have a cut, there's nothing wrong with me, so I'm okay.
No checkups, nothing.
Go for a checkup.
Okay.
Teachers who uses or parents who knock, please let disease from it. Who uses cane on the student, it's not advisable.
Okay.
It causes some shake-up in the cranium where the brain is lying.
I was going to say something, but I think it's better I hold it.
Oh, you can say it. You can say it. So all these things give rises to mental illness, which we can look at. Even certain medications that we even take.
Unprescribed medications.
Yeah, certain medication we take in can give rise to mental illness. So these are some of the causes that brings about mental illness.
Wilfred, Adam.
Yeah. I think I don't know, should I say he forgot the current situation is economic hardship. Well, yes. Because, well, it's very true, because if the economy is hard in terms of trading, people, you go to the market, they are not buying. If you are a trader, for instance, they are not buying, customers are not coming. You ask them, they say there's no money in the system. Another thing, if you ask the customers to, some will say the things are expensive. So it kind of has impact on our purchasing power. You are not able to buy or something. So all of these things, they have impact, because it makes you think a lot. It makes you think and wonder, like, so the more you think, the excessive thinking has a negative effect on your mental health. So economic circumstances also contribute to mental conditions or mental illnesses. So the thing is that I think let me try and clear this. We don't have causes for mental illnesses. You understand? If I say that, I mean that, for instance, COVID, for instance, we know the cause. The cause is the what? Is the COVID virus. You understand? For instance, malaria, we know the cause. The cause is the Plasmodium parasite. But for mental illnesses, we don't have the cause as of now. But we have contributory factors. You understand? So like he mentioned earlier, those that he mentioned earlier, they contribute to mental illnesses. And like the one I said, economic hardship is one of them. Loss of loved one is a contributing factor. Loss of property is a contributing factor. You understand? And he mentioned nutrition. So poor nutrition is one of them. I think I read in an article that in America, for instance, the research has shown that lack of vitamin B in children make them become what's the word, like hardened criminals. You understand? When they grow up, you understand? So they become we call it a psychopath. Like, they don't care about people's feelings. So they become ruthless, and they become armed robbers, and this suicide murderers. what's the word? Serial killers. You understand? So you can see that vitamin B as a nutrient, lack of it has made people become this. So you understand? So mental health has a lot of contributory factors that make them exposure to radiations. You understand? Has an effect. A typical example is when an unborn baby, let me say a pregnant woman in her early stages, for instance, the first trimester, that's the first 3 months. If she is exposed to radiations, it has effect on the fetus, and because at that moment, that's when the baby is forming. So in the first 3 months, it starts forming, the brain starts to form. So after the brain has formed, then the other part, the nose, the mouth, and other thing will come. So when the mother exposes herself to radiation by way of not visiting the qualified radiotherapist, you understand her. So they has effect on the formation of the brain, and by so doing, when the child comes out in the process, if care is not taken, the mental conditions begin to manifest. So we have a lot of contributory factors. And one thing, before I forget, let me say this one. In medicine, we don't believe in spirituality because there's no proof for that. But as Africans as we are, we know some of these things. They are there. You may not, yeah, you may not believe it because it depends on the individual's belief system, and you may not believe it, but some people do believe that it is there because it happens that and I've had the benefit of working in some of these remote areas, and in those areas, according to World Health Organization, it says that their research says that low income countries tend to have a bigger number or a bigger percentage of people suffering mental conditions. So you can see that in the villages. I would say if you've been to a village before, you see that money does not flow like that. Most of the things, the activities like based on is it buffer trading or something, butter trading, butter trading. I have cassava, you have fish, you have tomato.
Go on. In the village.
It still goes on.
If you've been to
the village and
The
Kasa.
remote village. Yeah.
Okay.
because money that don't do with money most of the time. So there are some of these things. So you say that money doesn't have that much effect on their mental health. But you see some of them having mental health conditions, like they are abandoned, like they work on the street, like and when you get closer to them or you ask about them, you realize that they say the person tried farm product and it cost him.
Okay.
Or they tried money ritual, you understand, and it backfired. Or the whatever the ritual like was successful, but he or she had to go and give thanks, and he didn't. You understand? Yes. Or it could be that they see in their family, should I see the comfort like be a comfort and a company. We do not also there on yet. Until in an attempt to run away, whatever the spirit or the power will go and what catch him or her. So you understand? They are there, believe it or not. You understand? So I'll say spirituality also has something to do with mental health conditions. Yeah.
Okay. Wilfred, I'll let you take this one for me. See, there are a lot of misconceptions and then myths surrounding mental health issues. Can you lay down a few of them?
Okay, there are a lot of them. In your introduction, you said people think mental health is a sign of weakness, but it's not the case rather. But it's because you are a human. So it's one of the misconceptions the one people have that it's a weakness. No, it is not. Like my brother said, it can happen to any other person. It's respected of no human being. So long as you're a human being, no matter your race or your economic background, whatever, you can be affected. So it doesn't make you a weak person. You understand? At any point in time, you can manifest. So we are prone to it. So it's not a weakness because you're human beings. That's one of them. Another thing is that they think mentally challenged people are, should I say, social misfits or they are useless or something. That's not the case. These people when they are treated, they become profitable, or let me say useful in the family and in the society and in the country as a whole. If my history serves me right, I remember they said France, one of their kings suffered mental health conditions in those years, but he was cured, and that's how come they began to take mental health conditions serious. Because if it has happened to a whole king, they have much more anybody has. So they took it serious. So we have, and because he's a king, if someone is a king, the person is powerful. So it means that these people are not useless. If they are cured, they can what? They can function better. People also have the misconception that mental illness nothing can be done about it. They are beyond repair. So the truth is that they are not curable, indeed, but they are treatable.
Okay.
So there's a difference between treating and curing. So treating is kind of managing the situation to the barest minimum. You understand? And curing is to alleviate it like totally. So in mental illnesses, they are not cured completely, but we're able to treat it to the point that the person, if you don't know the person, you don't even think or imagine that the person has a mental condition. But if you also know the person, you now see that the person has changed and is doing better.
Okay.
So you begin to wonder, yeah, 𝐶𝐶𝐭𝐚𝐥 na, enim the number of the nasebi. Oh, sorry. Okay. Now I'm gonna. I am kukura. Enim the. I'm gonna kuku. I want to kuku. So you understand? So then you begin to see that this person has become somebody in the society and rather contributing meaningfully to the society, other than those that we thought were good in the society. Another thing is that they think mental illness is contagious or it's infectious. So meaning that if you get closer, or you get closer to such people, it can be transferred. You can be infected. Let me say that mental illness is not infectious. You understand? So these are a few of the. And another thing is that they say these people are dangerous to live with, or they are violent. You understand? So it is wrong. They are not violent. The thing is that once they are human beings, they also have emotions. So the kind of treatment that you give to them, they will also respond in like manner. You understand? So if you approach them in a violent manner or this respectful manner, they may also kind of respond to that. But if you
or
even in the process, they are down to earth. They are lovely people to be with. They are people you will actually feel comfortable around. But the misconception out there is that, oh, these people are rowdy, they are aggressive, they are violent. No, they are not. They are not. And one misconception that is out there is that they say that, oh, this condition is not treatable, as my brother said. When you come to the facility, we can manage it to the barest minimum where you can function well within the community. Our main objective is not about curing.
Okay.
Our main objective is to make you feel comfortable to live among the society. So if you have mental illness, it doesn't mean that you are a social mischief. No. You should be able to live comfortably and go about. Cooks, do you know that there are so many people with mental health issues sitting in offices, but they are unaware, or they are not aware?
Yeah.
Yes. So what about they, or what about them?
I was actually coming to that. So you see, right now people are facing everyday stress and then anxiety and then all of that. So how do we differentiate between everyday stress and then a more serious mental health issues that requires professional assistance?
So stress is actually a good thing.
Okay.
Stress is a normal human action that propels the individual to achieve a set goal or a set target. For instance, let's say if we have an upcoming examination, yes, what the stress that will do to you during that period is to propel the student to sit up, to learn, to pass the examination. So if the individual fail to sit up and learn, that is when stress comes up and anxiety then follows. Today, you call your exams. Maths now, maybe I know that the questions are coming from this angle, but I don't know. Yes, I know that the questions are coming from this angle. So I've sat down maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks preparation towards that exams, because the stress that is inbuilt within me.
Okay.
So during the examination period, I will not be stressed up enough, but it will help me inwardly to write my paper. But it will cause me to be emotionally stressed up or depressed. Then anxiety begin to set in. So these are the relationship or the differences between. So if you are not able to cope up with the normal situation, then anxiety follows.
Okay. So at what stage do we have to seek professional help?
So it is when the situation has overwhelmed you and you are not able to do anything about it. Quickly, you need a professional help.
But sometimes people are unable to talk about all of these because of the stigma.
Sure.
Because they are scared others are going to look down on them, move away from them, and then all of that. So what do we do in this situation?
So it is all about creating awareness and letting people know that if you have a mental health issue, don't feel shy. Don't see that people are going to stigmatize you. People are going to talk about you. Have that courage, that boldness. And it is the onus on us, we, the professional, the journalists, the media, whatsoever, people who have the platforms to create the awareness about mental illnesses or mental health, just as you are doing, for the public out there or the general public out there to know that if anybody is going through life situation which overwhelm, let us seek the professional help. There are counselors around, there are clinical psychologists around, psychiatrists around, though they are few, but if you visit, you can be directed. If you ask questions, you will get answers. But don't sit at your corner in your home thinking that people are going to talk about it or people are going to talk about it, so you intend keeping it to yourself. No, when you do that, it will rather get worse. And treating it becomes more expensive and will become difficult as well. So please, my friends out there, the youth out there, the units are all available. Don't feel shy. Don't feel that people are going to stigmatize you and thereby
people will think I'm going crazy. They will think
crazy.
I'm going mad.
And one aspect is when they see you walking straight into the maybe psychiatric department, they'll say, hey, no, it is not that. And in fact, the unit does not only deal with maybe mental illnesses. we do a lot of things. Can I ask you, when was the last time you visited the hospital? I'm coming to have my mental state checked.
I don't remember doing that.
But you've gone to the hospital for
General
medical
checkups,
general
yes, those
checkup.
ones, but it never claims to go check the mental health.
Yes, and it should be done at least once in a year.
Okay.
To have your mental state checked.
Okay.
We will just take you through some 1 or 2 questions. That's all.
That's all.
It doesn't take anything.
That's all. Okay, well, Fred, what would you add to that?
I'd like to add, so on the issue of stigma and stigmatization, like you said, don't feel shy that they will stigmatize against you. That's one of the situation. Another thing is that the people laughing at or making fun of people having mental issues and all those people. The thing is that, like we mentioned earlier, it is no respecter of persons. You understand? So anybody at all can have it at any point in time. You know, anger falls under a mental health and mental illnesses. Yes, those who have anger issues, that one too is one of them. You understand? So some people get so much angry, so furious to the point that the moment the anger comes up, they can destroy, they can bring down a whole building. You understand? So the moment the anger goes away, then you realize the damage what you have caused. You understand? So at that moment, will you classify yourself as a mentally challenged person? You understand? Because we know that mentally challenged people, they destroy things. So you guys have destroyed whatever is there now. So will you consider yourself to be mentally challenged? So it means that anybody at all can suffer the condition. And like my brother said, it is genetic. So once it is in your family, there's a possibility that anybody at all can have it. But you never know when it will come.
Yeah.
So some of them, they need something later to trigger it for you to manifest. It could be a drug that you took. It could be a situation, whether a stressful situation like losing a loved one or losing a property. Then it will make you become so. Having this in mind, that anybody at all can have it. That one alone should tell you that you shouldn't laugh at people or make fun of people who are having those challenges. But rather, be concerned about them. Show concern and care. That's it. Once then when you come from what's even though you are going to or less you are now also you supposed to go to a pool So with that in mind, it should tell you that mental health condition can affect anybody at all. And the thing is that there's help. You understand? There's help for anybody at all who is having the condition, no matter the severity. And the thing is that mental health conditions, you have levels. In any of them, you have many of them, and in each of them, you have levels. You have the mild ones, that one, if the person is suffering, nobody will see. Sometimes he himself will not notice that he has a condition. So that one is mild. You have the moderate, before we get to severe, and we come to the profound. Profound is the one that you usually see roaming about on the street. You understand? Then even with that one too, you have the chronic and you have the acute. You understand? There are those that come within a short time, then it goes away. Then you have the others that will come and it will take a longer time
to stay with you forever.
And others to come and stay like for a lifetime. For those that stay for a lifetime are those who are aged. When you cross age 50 and 60, it's most likely that you live with it for the rest of your life.
Into one, what can that woman fine. So sometimes most of these cases are as a result of mental issues.
Yeah.
Especially with these dementia cases, is basically for the aged.
Yeah.
As I said, you can be old or young. So this one is basically for the aged. And when they begin to exhibit it, now young girls see now as of some of them will say that hey, when I
never young girls.
That question is for another topic.
Okay.
So with the agent one, you have contributing factors to those ones. You understand? So that one, if you have time, we can talk about it. You understand? But I'm focusing on the stigma. So we'll go to that one. So aside being concerned about people who are having issues, because you can also be affected. The next thing is that because there's treatment for them, there are success stories that we can show that these individuals were once mentally challenged, but now you look at their conditions. So we have success stories, videos and pictures that we can show. You understand? And like he said, by way of information and education, like we are doing right now. So we use some of these platforms to treat the gospel kind of that mental illnesses are treatable. We have people who are in worse situations, but now they are better off, contributing positively to the society, the community, and the country at large. You may be surprised that you have in children, like he said, you have mental conditions for children, like the mentally retarded or intellectual the disability children. You see that mentally their intellect is a bit low. So for instance, in the classroom, if you in academics, they are not all that good, but they can use their hands to do something wonderful. You understand? You can mention the likes of yeah, the inventor of Microsoft, for instance. I want to mention the inventor of Microsoft was once charged with mental retardation.
Okay.
You understand? The father of mathematics. I'm sorry, I don't want to mention, but if I mention some of this, you go and find out. You see their names. You understand? So all these people were once mentally challenged. Okay. You understand? During their childhood, but look at their benefit in the world is having or benefiting from them. You understand? So on this note, stigma is never good. We shouldn't like entertain it at all, because mental health, people with mental conditions there's hope for them. You understand? And you and I too can suffer or can be in their condition at any point in time. So this is what I would say on stigma.
You see, substance abuse, okay, it often co-occurs with mental health disorders. So how can we address the complex relationship between these two, between mental disorder and then
substance abuse?
Yes, substance abuse.
Okay, so substance abuse has become let's say it's a social canker. Yes, and yes, and usually it's the youth who indulge themselves in substance abuse. So the relationship between substance abuse and mental health is that if we are able to sensitize people to reduce their dependency on substance, then their mental health or mental well-being will be upright. For instance, some people, they can't do without certain medications. Yeah. So they kind of what's the word? Like what one way now say a certain medication beam. Yeah. So until they have that, until they have that medication, they think they can't function. Yeah. You understand? So if you're able to sensitize these people, that's why you have this rehabilitation centers and homes. I don't know if Takoradi Western origin, but at least I was trained in Cape Coast, so I know Akafu Psychiatric Hospital, we have the rehab one. So these people, there are success stories. Yeah. People who are able to go through the rehab, the steps successfully, are able to get off those addictions or dependency on the medications, on those substances. If I say substances, we're like you and I know, these hard drugs, marijuana.
Sometimes there are even concoctions that people just make and take.
Yes. Nowadays they say there's even this thing, glue, super glue. You understand?
Why would you do that?
Yes. In the news, I learned some parts in Echimo or somewhere. You go to the shops and the glue is out of stuff. Yeah. There's not sort of a super glue in the, and it's not that these shoemakers are the ones buying them.
Yeah, the youth.
Yes, it is these boys who go and buy them, and the kind of the smell or whatever it is that comes from when you open it, they inhale it and they are all high. You understand? Others too, they say the heat that comes from engines. You understand? So for instance, a truck to go to Wako Park, heat la of engine inside the but could you not
Or if you do all of these.
You understand? So if when we are able to educate these people, because when you go to a rehab, there's education on all of these things. They tell you the negative effect. So if you are exposed to all this information, then you kind of what you advise yourself and you move away from it. Then you become yourself. Then you are able to function without these substances. You understand? So that's the relation. So if people have they think this substance is what can help me to do whatever I have to do. That's why they are dependent on them. So if you're able to do the education, they move away from them. They are able to function on their own.
All right, Max.
So let's do a little education here.
Okay.
And the reason why these substances do cause or do bring about mental or contribute to mental illnesses. You are a complex body on your own.
Yeah.
Okay? God made you specially. And there are certain organs which play key roles within your complex nature. One of them is the heart, and the other one is the what? Your brain. The brain, your heart, they correlate. Okay? So when you take in anything through your mouth, your esophagus, when you take in anything through that system, it gets into your stomach or it gets into your system. Now, the body is said that anything that gets into your system, it must be able to derive something from it for the body to use it. Okay? So when you take in these substances, the body will try to, okay, let me take in what I need so that I can function. Even water. Okay? So if you take in this alcohol, this marijuana, this weed, these substances, these hard substances, the body tries to derive something. When it derives it, it goes into the blood system to circulate. And it's the heart that what pumps the blood. So if these things are in the blood, if the body is not able to derive it and distribute it to the appropriate places, and they lie in the blood, the heart pumps the blood. Where does it go to? It goes to your upper extremities. So the moment one beats, chunk of the blood goes to your upper extremities. And the major organ in your upper extremities is what? Your brain. That is why say obinya accident. Na say nti paya moja eba more from the head more than any part of the body. It is so be proud it here. Na say in quickly here the person can lose their life. Because chunk of the unsetra there is no way there is no way. But when it happens in your head, because a lot of blood goes there. So if these substances are in the blood and it goes to the upper extremities, then they go to alter the functions of this brain. So obinum insasisia now, within some few minutes, the person becomes what? Intoxicated. Why? Because the body could not derive any nutrients from the alcohol. So it goes to the brain, then begins to alter the functionality of your eye. Then you begin to doze off. You begin to behave. Into obinum, these hard substances are the moment Obaka said, I feel high, or will have some energy, unusual energy to behave or react in a certain way. Normally, you wouldn't behave that way. So that is a small education on that.
All right.
Yeah, the 𝐡𝐶𝐭𝐚𝐥 ijaswa, the meat is fresh. Would the 𝐡𝐭𝐴 so then it becomes brownish for you to be able to eat. So that is what this substance, especially the alcohol, the weed smoking, the cigarette, does within our system.
Wow.
So can I?
Yes, you come in.
This case, you need to give us a whole day. So maybe
Then we definitely do a part.
so let me add up a bit. So addiction is also falls under mental illnesses or mental health. You understand? Like I mentioned, anger. So you see that the relation between substance and mental health. So if somebody is addicted to a certain substance, you understand, so it affects the person's mental health in the sense that, as you mentioned, if somebody takes in any of these hard drugs, it affects or when it gets to the brain and affects the part of the brain, for instance, for you to be thinking straight, then it will alter that function and you'll not be able to think straight. Others who have what we call hallucinations. If I say hallucinations, it's like it affects the five senses. That's what hallucinations affects. For instance, sight, what you see things differently. You may even see things that are not there. You understand? Or you may even see something that is there, but it is either magnified or it has been shrink, like it reduces size. You understand? Another thing is that you'll be hearing things when it affects your hearing. You'll be hearing things that are not there. You understand? And others you will be smelling things that are not there. You'll be feeling things on your skin that are not there. You understand? So that's the relationship between the substance and the mental health. Because if you begin to see things that are not there, then you tend to behave differently. You understand? Or because you react to the things that you are seeing or the things that you are hearing, and your behavior changes from the normal that we all expect you to have. You understand? So this is some of the relationship between.
Hear something before
they do that, they move forward.
So substance abuse and mental health, they have a relation. They have.
I mean, there's a lot I'd like us to discuss on the show, but we would have to wrap up for today. Definitely, I think we should make another date and then do this, because it will really go a long way to help all of us. Yeah. So before we go, Maxwell, what would you say to people out there? Any message at all you have for the people out there regarding mental health?
My message basically is for our authorities.
Okay.
I know they are doing their best. I know they are doing what they need to do with regards to our health system. But I am pleading if they can channel some of their resources into mental health, because it looks like our mental health in this country has been relegated to the background. We focus more on the this communicable disease, this COVID. Even recently, the COVID came, chunk of money was invested. And when you look at this, is it the 𝐮𝐧𝐢𝐯𝐭?
Yes.
Yeah,
Sustainable Development.
Yes, 𝐮𝐧𝐢𝐯. The third one, I mean, good health and mental health. It's in there.
Okay.
Especially, I think the third line also, it is in there. Please, let's invest in our mental health.
Yeah.
The whole country, we have only 3 psychiatric institutions. Our people up there are suffering. They need to transport all of them to the south before they can have admissions.
Okay.
So if they can channel some of the resources into mental health, it will go a long way for us as individuals and citizens.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Maxwell. And Wilfred?
Yes. Okay. So the other thing I would say is that we already mentioned that mental health is no respect of person. So all of us are prone to. So I would like to add a few tips that will help our mental well-being. so that we will not fall victims of mental illnesses. So the first one is exercises. Any form of exercise that we can, to our ability, we should indulge in those exercises. Another thing is that we should be grateful. You understand? We should show gratitude when something good is done to us. So if by so doing, we give people the motivation to do good. You understand? Because the thing is that if you think positively, it has a positive effect on your mind. You understand? And another thing is we should eat well, healthy eating. We should eat well so that we get all the nutrients that the brain needs to function to its optimal best. And we should relax when we are tired. Rest and relax when we are tired. We shouldn't be overworking because of the expectation or the goal that you set for yourself. Because of money. And we should also be, the next thing is we should be realistic in setting our targets and goals. We shouldn't set too much big targets for ourselves. You understand? So that we feel pressured to achieve those targets. You understand? Another thing is we should have enough sleep. And we should, at least they say, we should sleep between 7 to 8 hours. The least is 6 hours. But what do we see? People sleep like 4 hours, 3 hours. They don't sleep early, but they wake up early. These things all have negative effects on our lives. So I think with this, and we should socialize. Socialize. The thing is that, see, I know we don't have time, but the thing is that
30 seconds.
Yes, people tend to when I say socialize, I mean physical contact.
Yeah.
You understand? If your friend is staying closer to you, go to him personally, so that you link up personally, but not on phone. You can see that some people, even in a family, in a house, they connect with themselves on phone. You understand? The husband will send a text to the wife that brings me this when they are in the same house. They'll be sitting at a dining table and they'll be communicating through phone. No, that's not what they're talking about.
Okay.
Go to the person and connect to the person physically. Those things they have a very good impact on our lives other than the phone. So I think these are a few that I would say.
All right. Thank you so much, Wilfred Worsley-Prah and then Maxwell Graham, both from the psychiatric department of Takoradi Hospital. Thank you so much for joining us on the show here.
Thank you too for hosting us.
And we definitely have to do a continuation of this.
Sure,
there is more that I would like to even learn myself, and I believe my viewers would also appreciate so much. So thank you. And to you out there, just as I said in my opening, please, mental health is not a weakness. It's not a weakness. If you need help, talk to somebody. It's not always that you have to just keep quiet and sit in your corner. Talk to somebody. Seek help. That's it. Just seek help. Probably it's just something small that you would need to do, all right? So please, let's talk to people. Let's seek help. Let's exercise. That goes to me personally. I have to exercise, yes. Let's eat good, sleep good, have fun. You know, life itself is some way. Don't take everything too serious. Have fun within the process. Thank you so much for joining us here. My name is Kuku Asaniba, your ever gorgeous host on the Youth Avenue on Watch TV channel. And please, if you have not subscribed to our page yet, kindly do so at Watch TV channel on YouTube and also Watch TV channel on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and the other one. So till same time next week, stay blessed, stay beautiful, and be good. Bye.
Watch TV, promoting sustainable development.